Hello, everyone. How are you this evening? Kate's here.
Hey.
It's a party because Kate's here. Yay. This is my first reading sprints on my channel for the year. One of my goals was hopefully to do it once a month. So far, check. And I am joined by the lovely Stephanie from Miss Richards Reads tonight because we are buddy reading together this weekend. So I asked if she wanted to hop on and join me, and she so graciously accepted. So
I'm so excited. I have everything ready.
yay! Oh, hi, Alyssa. How are you?
Come in. Just come in. Thank you.
Good evening, Tony. I don't have a hat, but I'm pretending.
There. You're on camera. Are you happy?
Hello. My dog's back here with me. Hopefully he won't. There he is.
Oh.
That's Gus. He's our elderly dog. We also have a puppy, but
He just looks like, why are you doing this to me?
he's like, Mom, you didn't tell me I was going to be on camera.
Right?
But if anyone hears really loud breathing or snoring, it is my dog. So, hi, Maria. How are you?
Yeah, Penny says she can always hear Lucy purring in the comments. I was like,
I usually can
hilarious.
too. I usually can too, and I love it so much. He loves you too. He doesn't even need to meet you to love you because that's who he is. He's like, how old is he? He's 9. We got him when Claire was 1. So they've always been together. They're best friends. He sleeps in her room. So.
She's the favorite.
Yeah. Oh, homemade cinnamon rolls.
Ooh,
all right. I don't know where you live, Alyssa, but we are coming to you.
Sounds delicious.
It's been a rainy day in Kentucky as well. I don't know if it's rainy where you are, Stephanie.
Off and on in Arkansas.
It snowed here yesterday, but it didn't stick. So let's see. Hi, Elizabeth. That is perfect timing. Nice. I'm so happy that it was perfect timing. So Stephanie already alluded to what we're reading. The last time I did a live on my channel, Stephanie and I decided that we were going to read Nancy Drew and Trixie Belden and compare the two because we both grew up with Nancy Drew, but so many people are like, Trixie Belden's better. Oh, my dog knocked over my water bowl. Hang on. That grew up with Trixie Belden like her better, and so we wanted to give her a try and compare them. So we have the first books in both series. I've already read the Nancy Drew book. I haven't started Trixie Belden, but Stephanie has sent me many Voxers that I haven't listened to yet, and I'm like a little nervous to start it.
I think you can just tell because I grew up with Nancy Drew, so I have so much nostalgia for it, whereas Trixie Belden is new, so I'm like,
I mean, I grew up, I love Nancy Drew. I don't remember the plot so much of the first one because it's been such a long time, and there were ones that I took out over and over and over again, like the one with the spider sapphire. That was like my favorite. Like, I love the cover to that. I read that one so many times. And Claire's favorite one is, I think, the moss-covered mansion, and she's read that one many times, and so I've read that one. But like, I haven't read this one in a really long time, and so the beginning of it felt dated and a bit cheesy and convenient at times. But as it went on, that element wore off a little bit for me when the action picked up a little bit, and that could have been nostalgia, but
yeah,
also I don't know.
It's definitely it. I have nostalgia, but it is dated in places, and it has its flaws. But I
like Nancy though. Reading her like as a character, I'm like, she's like so kind though. Like, she's putting her life in danger to help other people, not just because, she's curious. She's trying to help people. Like, I'm like,
she makes such a good Girl Scout.
I know. I'm like, what a good role model, girl.
For real. So I have little, like, most of my messages are like, where are the parents? But as far as a character, I really like her.
Okay. That helps. That helps. Yeah, because I believe we were also talking about Nancy Drew is 18 years old, which is pretty old for the protagonist of a middle grade book, which is really interesting to me and something I didn't really notice when I was a kid. But I'm like, that's interesting. And Stephanie was saying on Voxer, she's like, well, maybe it's because it's less scandalous that she's getting into these scrapes because she's older. So then Trixie Belden's 13. And so
I said that before I started Trixie Belden.
I know.
And I don't remember when Trixie Belden was published. I don't have the physical. But
1948.
It's that old?
Yes. I looked at the front and I'm like, Nancy Drew is 1930 and Trixie Belden's 1948. And it's interesting because I was flipping through. This cover is for sure not the 40s, but I was looking, there's illustrations in mine, and you look at the illustrations and I'm like, okay.
That looks like Nancy Drew.
But like you look at like the
yeah, because I was thinking 60s or 70s.
That's what I thought too. So I'm wondering, I should look
and
see. I'm wondering if it says, okay, this says it was renewed 1976 by Random House.
Okay.
So this cover is from the 70s. But yeah, so I just assumed based on the cover because I hadn't opened them. But Claire has read them both, and she said that they're very different, and she does prefer Nancy Drew, and she has read both. So we'll see.
Yeah, that makes sense because I know the original 18 Nancy Drew books had to be re-edited because they had some not great slurs and stuff in there.
Yeah.
So maybe
time period sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, so maybe that's why Trixie feels new. Maybe not that it had that stuff, but maybe they re-edited it to feel more modern.
Yeah, they may have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch them on comments here. Hi, Krista. I thought okay, never mind. Now that I'm thinking, you have live on your channel tomorrow night.
Ooh, I've heard.
I was like, I hope that I didn't schedule at the same time as Krista's.
How dare you?
Frostheart. I haven't read Frostheart yet, but it looks fun.
I've heard it's really good.
Ooh. I've heard that too. Snow Flirt, and everyone went crazy. There's no milk or bread on the shelves, guarantee you. Yeah, I guess you're right. That is January weather after all. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome. Reading sprints are so fun. It's so nice to have you here. Yay, Becky. Tell me in the comments what you guys are planning on reading tonight. We already told you what we're going to be reading. Sarah Sundin's newest release, The Sound of Light. I haven't read anything by her. I like the title, though.
I do, too.
Reading The Lending Library by Alina Fogelson. Well, I mean, when the library's in the title, it's going to be a good book for book lovers. Yes, Kate.
Yes.
This is why we're friends. There are many reasons, but this is one of them.
I may have a Nancy Drew shelf and like not shelf, like bookcase, and a Nancy Drew puzzle and everything. Like she was my favorite growing up.
Can you share the puzzle somewhere, like Voxer or something? I want to see it.
I actually got two because I'm a nerd, because one I glued together. And my mom won't do it with me anymore because I know the covers so well that she doesn't really get a chance to like do it.
I love that so much. Did you play the Nancy Drew computer games when you were a kid?
I did.
I loved those. Like,
and I thought I was so cool because I could actually do it.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, I'm solving a mystery. I am a Nancy Drew. Oh, more Nancy Drew fans. Okay, so your mom preferred Nancy as well. I have heard some people who prefer Trixie, but we'll see. Oh, you didn't read either. Well,
okay.
To be fair, there was no nostalgia influencing you whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that.
It is.
Which one did you read? Do you remember? Because I would not say the first one is the strongest one, but I also hate any of the modern ones, even the ones that came out when I was a kid. Like you need the Yellow Spine one. Because I've reread some of the other ones that I read as kids that were like the Nancy Drew notebooks, and I'm like, these are awful.
Yeah.
So some are better than others for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know how many I have because I didn't own them as a kid either. I got them from the library. And I have been trying to collect them for Claire for forever. And we have most of them are this yellow edition, but I have some that are like really old, like blue cloth bound editions that are way older than these ones. And those ones are so cool.
I love when they have the order forms in the back.
Yes, this mine probably does too.
They're so fun.
It does.
Yes.
I also love here, it's I'm just going to read this last tiny little bit of this paragraph because it's not spoilery. It just says, as Nancy stood looking wistfully at the old clock, she little dreamed that in the near future she would be involved in the hidden staircase mystery, a far more baffling case than the one she just solved. I'm like, I love the tease for the next book with the title and everything.
I know.
I was just, little did she know. As I read The Hidden Staircase like a year and a half ago for like a nostalgic read, and because I didn't own the first one, and I have since picked this up at a library book sale, so I read The Hidden Staircase, but I just thought it was so funny.
Yeah, I definitely think the second one is an improvement.
Mm-hmm. And when you get Bess and George and Ned and yeah, she got a new car in this book.
She did, and it was always a convertible.
Yeah, she was like, it's so nice of Dad to buy me a car, and I love helping him. I was like, you're so wholesome. Penny high. All right. Tony. Oh, Tony. He's showing us up. We're reading Nancy Drew, and he's like reading. That sounds amazing. I haven't read anything by her.
I've heard such good things.
Me too. So it's interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize she was so old either, Kate, because like any movie portrayal that they've done of her, she's been like in the 12 to 15 range. You know, she's not 18 in the movies. But like in this book, she like reconnects with a friend from high school. And like that friend from high school is like part of the whole thing. So
also, like, when did you graduate high school that you're reconnecting with someone from high school and you're 18?
I graduated at 17, so I guess that would only be a year, but maybe
I guess that feels like a long time at that age.
I guess, yeah, especially if you were close and maybe one went to college somewhere, one stayed in town or something. I don't know. I don't know. Hi, Jess. How are you? And Joanna's here. Oh, you got a cake in the oven. We got cinnamon buns. We got cake, and none of it is at my house. That is unfortunate. Come on. Joanna, have you read either of these? Because Joanna's reading these with us too. She's in our Voxer group. So we were just talking about all that, which you probably know because I'm behind on comments. That was like 6 minutes ago. Sorry, guys.
Yes.
Me too. And I loved mysteries all the way. Well, I guess I still do because I love Agatha Christie, but I'm a little more picky about mysteries now than I was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We want to know what kind of cake, although she may have already answered that. We'll see. A little bit of everything. I mean, that's me right now because I'm also reading Sword of Kaigen, and I'm reading Demons, and I'm reading The Habit of Being, which is a collection of Flannery O'Connor's letters.
Ooh.
So say, I actually have Demons back here too, in case I finish a book, because I still haven't finished part 1, but I'm only 30 pages off. I'm actually close, and it's getting really juicy. So
I'm about the same place you are, I think.
Mm-hmm. So did you keep reading after the last sprint then? Because I have read since the last sprint.
Well, I read a little, but I think I'm like 10 pages away from part 2.
Okay. So, you're closer than me. You're further than me then.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It's all right. I've had almost no time to read this week. That's my excuse. Except for Nancy Drew last night.
Yeah. You can make soup in your air fryer?
Look at who this comment is
from,
Stephanie.
Lie because...
Look at who the comment is from, Stephanie. This is my husband, friends, in case you didn't know, and he always trolls my lives. Even if I'm on someone else's channel, if he can find it, he will
That's
troll
funny.
me.
Obviously, I don't own an air fryer.
I don't know how
The
well
way
you
technology is
can make
going.
soup in it. I don't know. You could try, I guess, but I don't know. Would depend on the air fryer too, but Penny's reading A Farewell to Arms. Are you still enjoying that?
Do you
Hemingway.
ever watch Designing Women?
No.
Okay. Suzanne Sugarbaker is very, she doesn't read books, you know? And Julia was reading A Farewell to Arms, and she goes, "Oh, Suzanne, I bet you don't even know what it's about." And she's like, "I don't know, a guy who lost his arms." And it's like, oh my God. And now every time I hear the title, that's all I hear.
And that's if someone, had to have, they were an amputee, that is, of course, what you would name the book.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
She's very not,
not all there.
Yeah.
I have still not read any William Kent Kruger. I have this Tenderland. I picked it up at a thrift store, and I really want to read it because I've heard such good things, and I feel like I might like his writing style. Have you read him before, Stephanie?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. You read everything. That's why I wasn't sure. Alyssa's reading Bird Box. Nice. How is it? Last I heard, it was very suspenseful. They're in my Patreon, Penny and Alyssa, so I knew what they were reading. Oh, this one?
The one we said probably not the best one to start with.
Probably not the best one to start with. Okay. Gluten, dairy, and nut-free vanilla buns.
That sounds good.
Leave it to Joanna to do gluten and dairy-free. I always ask her for her recipes.
But her stuff always sounds so good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, The Three Adventurers. I've never heard of that, but I did read some Hardy Boys, which was kind of like the boy counterparts to Nancy Drew. Sorry, guys. Nancy Drew is just taking over this chat. So, I liked The Hidden Staircase because it's like Haunted House, but with Nancy Drew, it never actually is. Of course, I thought that one was really fun.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's true. Oh, and Want to Be Her. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do so much.
I actually, as a kid, also really loved like the movie Harriet the Spy because the same kind of like vibes, except I read that book as an adult and I'm like, this child is awful. And she didn't learn her lesson. She's like, oh, I've just learned I don't tell people when I'm writing mean things about them. And I pretend to be sorry to salvage relationships, but I'm not. And I'm like, wow.
That is a great message to tell children.
I know. Like the message is, you can just lie about it so you don't hurt people's feelings and keep doing what you want. And I'm like, all right, Nancy Drew is better. I would rather be Nancy Drew than Harriet. Harriet probably lost all her friends. You started, Trixie. All right. Have you listened to Stephanie's Boxers? Because I have not. Because I haven't started it yet. Oh, this is about demons, I think. Yeah, where I am, it is getting really good. I just have been so tired at night that I'm like, I don't want to miss things.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You read a few, Trixie, because I'd never even heard of them until like 2 or 3 years ago. The Troll Returns. He never left, Kate. He lives in my house. Oh, yeah, Alyssa's ahead of us. Alyssa was not a very big classics reader, and this month she has read Wise Blood by Flannery O'Connor, and she's reading Demons. I'm like, girl, you going hard. This is our first Dostoevsky.
Wow.
I'm like, girl.
I'm super impressed.
And she's showing us up with how fast she's reading it. You're awesome, Alyssa. Do you?
Yeah.
He is a genius. I'm glad that you are on nickname basis with him.
Could be worse.
That's funny. I think he said that on a video in one of the videos that he was in. I've done like one video with him, I think, where he had to guess my answers to questions, and he was talking about how like there's a book that everyone should read, and he's like, most people haven't heard of it. It's by Chuck Dickens. It's called A Christmas Carol. Like, why is this not a pop culture icon? It's so good. And so he said Chuck Dickens in that video too.
I'm never gonna unhear that.
Yep. You loved This Tender Land. I've heard good things about it. I've heard some people say they didn't like it, but when I hear what they didn't like about it, it's not things that I wouldn't like. Like the thing I've heard they didn't like about it, I don't want to say because I think it might be considered slightly spoilery. But I'm like, I think I would like that. So I think I will enjoy it whenever I get to it. It has a pretty cover too. An ambulance driver in World War I who was involved in a skirmish in Italy. I didn't know what it was about. I have it. It almost went on my Read a Rid project this year because I've had it for like a decade. But I'm like, would I actually get rid of this? I don't think I would. I think I would just still hold on to it to read it. So that's why I didn't get there. I hear the purr.
Yeah. She's petting herself on my desk.
She's so efficient. What an independent woman.
I know.
I'm inspired.
Yeah,
girl.
I'm not a Hemingway fan. I'm so sorry.
I think the only one that I have read in its entirety is The Old Man and the Sea, and I did like it. And then I started For Whom the Bell Tolls like 5 or 7 years ago and DNF'd it. But I was much more of a mood reader back then. So I have more fortitude to maybe stick with it longer than the maybe 15 pages I got in.
Yeah.
So I didn't really give it a fair chance.
I did like his short stories, but I'm not a huge fan of his novels. But that was also like 10 years ago, so.
And some people just are better short story writers than they are novel writers too. So yeah. I need to look up The Three Adventurers because I love Hitchcock.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
They were rubbish. I remember liking them, but not as much as Nancy Drew, and I couldn't tell at the time, like, is this because I'm a girl or is it because Nancy Drew actually is superior? So maybe she just is.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're too blind in our love for Nancy Drew, but it's probably not that. Probably not that.
No, we're totally objective.
Yes. Actually, objectively, I did find like the first like third of The Secret of the Old Clock kind of cheesy, but I still liked it though. Landscape descriptions.
Nice.
Yeah, I like pastoral writing and like descriptions and that kind of stuff. As long as it's not like War and Peace, then we're good. Chapters upon chapters of military strategy without even the battles. That was what I struggled with the most in War and Peace. Like, I know war's in the title, but I could have used less war.
Yeah. I think that was what we said throughout that entire read. Like, oh, yay, we get to be with this one person again. Oh, here's 50 more pages of a battle scene. Yay.
I mean, it was fine when, like, Andre and, like, Pierre were part of it. There's a lot of parts where they were not part of it. And we're like,
those
who's this guy again? Well, see, it doesn't even have to be peace because there was no peace in the family interactions, but like maybe military peace, you know, like I'm here for the Russian drama. And I know you are too, Kate.
Oh, yeah.
We all are. All us Russian lit lovers are here for the drama.
Yes.
She's like, you won't do it? I'll do it myself. 3 teenage boys, one of whom, Jupiter Jones, was the son of a guy that ran a garbage yard. And they had a secret headquarters under the garbage. Wow.
That sounds fun.
That sounds super fun. I
love the name, Jupiter Jones.
It reminds me of, what's the, Nevermore? Like Jupiter, was his last name wasn't Jones, though, I don't think.
I haven't read Nevermore.
You haven't?
I own it. I have not read it
yet. It's like my favorite middle grade trope, which is like kid feels like they don't belong, and then someone comes from another world and is like, you're right, you don't belong. Let me take you to where you do belong. And then they go to a magical school. I'm like, it's my jam. It's like my favorite middle grade trope. It's like, I don't care how you do it. I'm going to love it. I'm just a sucker for that. Oh, Jacqueline says Jupiter North.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you. I couldn't remember his last name, but I knew his name was Jupiter.
So. I love that name too.
That's
Ain't no party like a Russian lit party.
Yes, we've converted, Alyssa. It's like eating popcorn drama where you're like, oh. Like whenever you're done with Demons, Alyssa, if you read the first part of The Idiot, that is so far. I haven't gotten that far into Demons, but so far, The Idiot is like the most top tier drama of any Russian literature I've read. That first part, the family drama in it, I'm like,
yes,
this is like if Tolstoy wrote like Housewives of Moscow or Petersburg or whatever. I'm like, what is happening?
Real Housewives of Moscow.
Pretty much, though. I don't think anyone who's read it would disagree because that is literally the thought. And I haven't even watched Real Housewives, but just from the previews, I'm like,
I feel like that fits.
It checks out.
Oh, I guess she didn't, but whatever.
Yeah, well, Anna Karenina is heavy on the drama too. Yeah. For real. Relationship drama. Probably more relationship drama than family drama.
Yeah.
Because The Idiot has both.
I feel like Anna Karenina is more like a daytime soap opera.
I agree. That's a good way.
In the best way.
Yes. 3 investigators. Okay. I'm glad you made that clarification. Although if I tried to Google 3 Adventures in Hitchcock, it would probably still come up. It would probably just put the right title. Because I want to check that out. I want to see if I can find like a Kindle version or something and read it. Because that sounds super fun. Yes. And I love how Tolstoy writes relationships and like emotion so well. I love it. See, Kate agrees. I knew she would.
Yes.
I haven't listened to it on audio. That was actually my second Dostoevsky and my third Russian literature that I read because I picked up Crime and Punishment on a whim at the library. I'm like, I wonder what this is about. Like,
in the opening chapters. Hello.
Before BookTube, before I ever talked to Christy Lewis, I was just like, oh, so when I found Christy, once I started BookTube, I'm like, I need to be best friends with this person because I too love Crime and Punishment.
Yeah. And who doesn't want to be best friends with Christy anyway? She's amazing.
I mean, I basically kept commenting until we became friends. Like, I was like, I want to be friends. Worked out well. I've told her that too, though, so she knows.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry, that's creepy. And she's like, no, I'm so glad you did. I'm like, you're sweet. It is kind of creepy. So if anyone does that to me, go right ahead because I do it to other people.
Persistence pays off. It's fine.
We can be friends. Yeah, The Idiot. Overall, The Idiot. I wish I read it when I first started on BookTube and I had not met Christy yet and I had not met Una yet. And they read it like last year. You were part of that group, weren't you, Stephanie?
No.
No? Okay.
I read it before BookTube.
Okay. I think Kate maybe did. Maybe Kate read it with them. And they all were like, this is amazing. Christy's like, this might be my favorite or close to it now. Like she loved it. And I struggled with the ending a lot. And I wish that I had had someone to talk to at the time. So I want to reread it now because I'm like, I want to talk to someone about this because I feel like at the time I was like, I think I'm missing something because I don't get it.
Yeah. I definitely think I get more out of them with the read-alongs that go on.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with Una.
Yes.
It's like the cool high school teacher in every group.
Yep. Sits on the desk. What do you think?
Yes.
Tell me what you think, Una. You're a genius. Yes. Yeah. I do too. Anna Karenina it's a ride, dude. It's a ride. Favorite. Kitty and Levin make it bearable. Just saying. Because otherwise, I think that it would have been a little bit too much of a downer for me. That gave me some redemption, I guess. I needed I needed a grain of redemption, and they gave it to me.
Yeah.
That does help so much.
Yeah, I remember Kate really, really liking it when she was reading.
Where is Christy? Christy, are your ears burning? Where are
I
you?
feel like
talking
we
about
should have a
stalking
group
you.
now. We all just stalked Christy till we became friends, and now it's on the internet.
The Christy fan club. That's basically.
Yeah. You just hear like the psycho music in the background.
Speaking of Hitchcock, Tony. All right. We should probably sprint. We've been talking for like 30 minutes about nothing. The last time I did lives on my channel, like live sprints, we did like 2 sprints because we were talking way too much, and there wasn't even anyone on screen with me.
Well, wasn't that your 1K celebration too?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Christy was on the second half of that. She was on the screen for the second half.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just
or your birthday. Maybe that's what it was.
No, the last one was my 1K. My birthday was the first one that I did. That was in September. Okay. So, and then I hosted one for Rating Project Gutenberg, and then I did one for 1K.
That's right.
So this is the 4th live reading sprints that I have hosted, but we'll have many more this year. That's the plan anyway. I love how you're like, you know what I mean. You didn't have to specify. We don't think you're an idiot, Kate. Kindle Unlimited. That look German, but have that's interesting. The Secret of the Crooked Cat. Ooh, don't tell your cat, Stephanie, that you're reading this.
Well, now I have to look into that.
I know. I mean, I'm going to try to read in these sprints, but I want to Google this first. Everything Tony ever talks about, I want to Google, though. Tony, you're an inspiration. You're always reading the most interesting things that I'm like, I've never heard of that. And then I just put it on my TBR. So I'm highly influenced by Tony. My Goodreads is. Or they'll get worried. That's what I was thinking. Like, what's wrong with this cat? Why are we reading about it? Am I in trouble? Is this going to be bad? You know, that's what
During COVID, Lucy literally tried to kill me in my sleep. I don't think she'll get jealous. I think she'll just get revenge. I woke up and her full body weight, her front paws were like on my neck. Like, she was not happy with me. That was during quarantine. And I think she was tired of me being at home.
Wow.
And then on Instagram, I think I did like day ? Of quarantine, and every day she's glaring at me. So
Christy does the daily like. Stephanie's like, here's Lucy staring at
failed murder attempt.
Yeah, there you go. That's how I met you, Joanna.
Yes.
Through K-drama, because Christy invited me to watch K-drama with Kate and Joanna and her. And then later we invited Stephanie and Victoria and watched one with all of them. And that was so fun. That was kind of a weirder one, though. That's not my favorite one I watched.
No, but I liked the drama of the chat. Like, ooh, what's going to happen next?
It was still fun.
Yeah.
But it didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
It was like musical. Is it a horror? Is it a mystery? Is it feel good? Is it what is it?
Yeah. It had Regina George.
Yes, because it's set in a high school. Yeah, it was interesting. It's not the worst one I've seen either, though. So I watched one with Joanna and Kate, and it wasn't that the whole show was awful. It was that the ending was so bad that it really lowered it for me. Yeah. Joanna already knows what I'm talking about. She felt the same way. Thank you, sir, for being a positive influence on our lives. All right, should we sprint? We should sprint, right? Let me see. I'm gonna do 30 minutes. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay. So we'll come back at 35. I don't have that one on here, so I'm typing. I'm so prepared. All right, cool. All right, guys, we will see you in just a little bit. Happy reading. Welcome back, friends. How'd you do?
I'm almost done. Things have happened. It's a riot.
I'm looking forward to it. I am cracking up at the beginning of it. I'm 50 pages in. And I'm just like, this child. Who do you think you are?
I know.
Like, I did send a Voxer that just said the very first sentence of this. I'm like, so chapter 1. Oh, mom's, Trixie moaned, running her hands through her short, sandy curls. I'll just die if I don't have a horse. What a first line.
But also moms.
Yeah, she just
Gets
calls
on
her
my
mom.
nerves.
Like, what? And then she's like she wants to do this chores to earn a horse. And then she's like, I'll take my brother with me. And then as soon as he comes up to her, she's like, do I have to take him? I'm like, you offered.
Yeah, definitely middle grade.
I do feel like the writing is actually pretty decent though. Like it's pretty descriptive and stuff. So, but
yeah, I mean, I've liked it enough to continually listen to it.
I mean, it's pretty fun. I just am just like, this child she needs to be grounded is what she needs.
Oh, just wait.
Okay. Oh, I just got to the part where they met the kid in the house.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kate got stuff done. Good job, Kate. I got nothing done except reading. 30 pages. Wow.
Nice.
Good job. You must be maybe you're not getting close to the end. I don't know. I didn't know exactly where you were, but it's like breakneck pace in Bird Box, I've heard. So look at Krista. You're amazing, Krista. You're an inspiration to me. I tried today. I wanted to try to do my own sprints like you do on the weekends, where like, you know, read for 20 minutes and then check stuff off your to-do list for 20 minutes. But it's like, if I sit down to read, I'm just like, my body's like, you're done. You're tired now, and now you can't do anything.
Yes.
I wish I could be as productive as Krista.
I want to be Krista when I grow up.
Krista's amazing. We love you, Krista. Be creepy with Krista, too. We're creepy friends. You want to be our friend.
Right.
20 pages from the halfway point. Okay. I think you started that like yesterday or something. So it's a pretty good book. Have you seen the movie, the Bird Box movie that was on like Netflix or whatever? I haven't seen it either. But I've heard that it's good. You're welcome. It's a time when Stephanie and I are on lives. And when Kate was there too for our last reading sprints on her channel, we were all just like not there that day. It was good times. 60 pages of Trixie. You showed me up. Nice. I did 50. How far are you, Joanna? And what's your take on her personality? I'm just wondering.
No.
Bible reading and listening to the 4th Harry Potter. Fun. I've never listened to the audiobooks. I've heard they're great though.
They're really good.
Look at her. You're amazing.
And say at this point, I'm like, it's 7:30. I can save it for tomorrow.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing stuff until my live, and then I'm done. That's it. That's it for me.
Yep.
When it hits about, after dinner time, I'm just like, I'm done for the day. Doesn't matter when I started my day. After dinner time, I'm done for the day.
Yes.
Chantel, hi. What are you reading tonight, Chantel? Oh, you're rereading the whole series. Fun.
Kate.
Kate, I love you. I love you. Book of Job. Awesome. Awesome. What Bible reading plan are you doing, Marcy? I'm just curious. Are you doing chronological? Because mine started with that last year. 15 pages. Oh, which French classic are you
Mm.
reading? Charlene has like the best French classic recommendations because she's read a decent amount of them. So next month I'm reading Pere Goriot, which actually Kate read for our reading Project Gutenberg thing. And I found like the most beautiful copy like about a year ago with Christmas money. And Charlene was the reason why I bought it, because I was like, what French literature do you read? I've only really read Dumas, and that's it. Oh, and Hugo, and that's it.
Yeah.
And she's like, Henri de Balzac's good. And I'm like, okay, so I got that one. So
I've really gotten into French stuff, like French books lately, because I read a lot of literary fiction last year. And a lot of the stuff up for awards were by French authors, and it was really good.
Oh. I don't know that I've read very many. Well, I have read some more recent translated classics, but they're all Asian.
Yeah.
Most of them are Korean or Japanese. I haven't really read any.
And
like,
that's how
modern
most of
French
mine were. But the French ones I read were really good.
You have to tell me which ones you read, because I'd be interested in looking at. Oh, I hear purring again.
Yeah, she just jumped up here.
I love her.
We're back live. Okay.
I would not be able to tell you if it spoils the second book, because I haven't read either the books or watched the movie. But the preview of it and the way people talked about Bird Box makes me think that I'm at least intrigued. I'll put it that way. I'll see what you end up thinking about it when you're done. Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Same, which is why I like still have my Christmas tree up. I kept it up through like February last year.
I still have my Christmas stuff up too.
I took down all my other Christmas stuff. I have like snowflake and snowman stuff up. But like I need the twinkle lights in the morning, or like I just can't. I'll turn on an ambient room and then the twinkle lights on my tree, and like the mornings feel cozy and not depressing, and like I need it for that same reason, Kate. Really like cozy. I'm like, I have to lean into the cozy or I fall into the depression of like the like short days. It just, and I like winter weather, which is weird. I like colder weather, so that part doesn't bother me. It's the short days that get me, and they're usually gloomy days. So if it's snow, that's not so bad, but I don't get that much snow in southern Kentucky. So when we lived in Illinois, we had plenty of snow, and so even on the gloomy days, the whole house looked brighter because it's reflecting off snow. Yeah. When there's no snow, everything's gray and brown. I don't know who that is, but in general, just from the title, you could tell that it was not meant to be a comfortable read.
And what a name.
Theophilus Shepstone. I mean,
it's a great villain name.
I was just thinking, if he wasn't evil, that'd actually be like a cool pet name, but I'm not naming my pet after someone evil. So just saying. That's just like Theophilus is a cool name. Set the stars, like, oh, you posted about that on your Instagram, didn't you? It has like a beautiful, beautiful cover. I think she said it was historical fiction, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh, I have not read that. I read The Three Musketeers years and years ago and did not like it, but it was a long time ago, and I want to retry it because I think maybe I'd feel differently.
Yeah.
Have you read it, The Three Musketeers?
I've read The Three Musketeers. I haven't read the sequel.
Did you like The Three Musketeers?
High school. I liked it.
Oh. Okay. Mine was post high school, but it was like my early 20s, so. Oh, okay. I know a lot of people who are doing the Bible recap. I still haven't done it, but taking a break from that this year. Hi, Katie. Welcome back. We're still, talking about Nancy Drew, Trixie Belden, Russian literature. It's the same stuff. And French literature. Oh, more Harry Potter. It's a Harry Potter party tonight.
Nice.
I'm glad to have you here, Lisa. I hope that it's helps you. I need some reading motivation too, actually. Yay! Who else still has their tree up? Make me feel better. I keep telling people, I posted it was in the background, one of my pictures, and my cousin replied, and she's like, "Is your tree still up?" And I was like, "Well, technically, my parents are coming next week to open Christmas presents. And their presents are still under the tree." I was like, "But if I'm going to be honest, it would still be up anyway." But it just sounds better. Like, we still have a Christmas to do.
You know what? It's your tree. You do what you want.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need to make excuses for myself. It's fine. Yay, Kelly still has her up too. Hi, Kelly. What are you reading tonight?
Yes.
Do you have twinkle lights, Kate? It will help you with the dark nights and the dark mornings. My tree's on right now. Actually, it's been on all day because it's been cloudy and gross all day. Yay. Welcome to all the sprints. I have never heard of that book before, but the title I could see.
Yes, I love that title.
Not sure how I feel about Trixie yet. I think she's a little annoying too.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I know that like the stereotype is you hate your little brother, but your little brother so far seems kind of cute, actually. But I'm not that far in. He may get way more obnoxious, but also I remember being 13 and it's not fun. And I would never go back to being ages 11 through 14. You could never pay me enough money.
No.
My mom was so gracious with me. And I just pray. I'm like, Lord, help me to be just as gracious to my daughter. Because I remember so vividly where all of a sudden I'd be so angry because the world's so unfair, and then I'm crying and I don't know why.
Yes. Like the girl in Mean Girls. Like, I just have a lot of feelings.
That was always me. That's kind of still me sometimes, but I think I'm less like this. So, but yeah, that was totally me. And I think that's why middle school is so hard and why bullying is so intense. Middle school is not saying kids should bully kids, but like all of the hormones and all the weird body changes, and then if you add in that they're coming from a rough home life where they don't have support anyway, it's like breeding grounds for just like lashing out because you're so angry and you don't even know why, and then you're so sad and you don't know why, and
everything feels super permanent.
Yeah. And everything just that's a really good point too. I hadn't even thought about that, but it does. Because
I taught 8th grade for a year. It was a ride.
Oh, I'm sure. And 8th grade is when they're starting to maybe come out of it just a little.
Yeah.
Like they're on that edge where some of them might have come out of it. But man, like I remember being a kid and an early teen, and everyone would be like, I can't believe you're X amount of years. And I just wanted to say to all of them, why? I have waited my whole life to be this old. And now I'm an adult and I'm like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yes.
You're moving in less than and you're pregnant. Oh my gosh. Girl,
oh man, that's a lot.
Put your feet up, get a heating pad, get something good to drink if you haven't already. Some warm tea, something. I figured that's what it was. So first I was like, what's a Delon? The white lights on your bookcase. I don't have like extra other lights other than the ones for my tree. And I don't want to use them when my tree's down because then the lights won't be there, and then I'll set up my tree and then I'll be angry because the lights don't work. That's what happened last year.
I feel like if I put up lights, it'd be like all my bookshelves. Lucy would pull like one light and then they would all just yeah.
That sounds about right.
Just my little demo girl.
Well, she's just trying to help you, redecorate. My husband has something in the oven and the timer just keeps going and going. So if you hear beeping, I'm sorry.
He's not too busy thinking up his next trolling comment.
I was going to say, he's not even commenting right now. Like, what's his excuse? Oh, girl, that's the story of my life. So many books, so little time. And yet I keep jumping into buddy reads I don't have time for.
They're so addicting.
But I keep going. Kate is rubbing off on me. Your Christmas tree's still up too. Oh. No, it doesn't need to come down. You're celebrating Jesus' birthday for a long time. He deserves it. Dang it. Around the World in 80 Days. Oh yeah, that readathon looks so fun. Miriam Elizabeth is doing that. And I almost was like, maybe I could read that too. And then I'm like, stop, Tiffany. Just stop. You haven't even caught up where you're supposed to be, and read alongs you have already committed to. But I haven't read Around the World in 80 Days. So
I think I read it in high school.
I started as a kid and didn't like it. Oh, and you're a new subscriber. Welcome. Yay. So happy to have you here. Yay, more people with their tree up. More people with their tree up. I love you guys. You're my people.
Yes.
And then Chantel. I still love you, Chantel. But that's so funny. I'm like, these are my people. I take my tree down December 20th. When do you put your tree up, though, Chantel? Because since you're Canadian and Thanksgiving is so much earlier for you, you might put your tree up before me, because I do not put my tree up until after Thanksgiving. No judgment for people who put theirs up earlier, but I really like Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite holidays, and I have really cute fall decorations, and I'm not ready to let go of them yet.
Well, I feel like we skip from Halloween to Christmas a lot.
And Thanksgiving might be my favorite holiday.
I go
back and forth. I love Thanksgiving. It's about like family, and Thanksgiving has the best food. Mm-hmm. Better than Christmas. Sorry, you can fight me. It's okay. I think Thanksgiving has better food, and it stresses me out less because there's less like I don't have to be checking off to be like, did I forget someone's gift? Mm-hmm. So it feels more low key to me even when I'm hosting.
Excuse
Kingdom
me. Yes.
of Stars and Shadows. That sounds familiar.
Mm.
Have you read
I like
the
title? Okay. It does sound familiar.
I can't place it. I for sure obviously have not read it if I'm like, that sounds familiar, but I have too much going on right now to really mood read all that much. But I do like to leave room for some. I used to be an only mood reader, and then I joined BookTube.
Yeah, same.
Yes, get yourself some more Twinkle Lights. If there's any left at your store, they're going to be on clearance. Like 90% off clearance. Yeah, keep it cozy. Cozy all the time. I love these people. Even if the tree's down, you still have lights.
Yeah.
That happens to me sometimes. Not as much as I used to. But I do cry at every book, so it's okay.
I do too. My boss has caught me crying at work listening to a book. That's like, I'm fine. Just go away.
Peter will walk in and I will be like crying. He's like, why do you do this to yourself? I'm like, but it's so good. He walked in after I finished Assassin's Apprentice.
Yeah.
And I'm just staring into my dog's eyes. I'm like, I love you.
I don't read the last 200 pages of any Hobb book at work now because I know it's just going to make me sob. Like happy, sad, angry, everything.
Oh my word. I think one of the worst books that I've read for that was The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which I feel like a lot of people have read. It's World War II historical fiction. And the ending of that book made me sob more than any book I've ever read. And it was like, I was finishing it. It was like after midnight because I couldn't put it down. My husband is asleep next to me, and I'm trying to sob as quietly as possible not to wake him up.
Oh,
I just kept oh my gosh. And Assassin's Apprentice is like the most I've cried since that book.
Yeah.
But I get choked up at all the books, and I read books aloud to Claire for school all the time. She already knows. Like, I read The One and Only Ivan to her. I don't know if you've read that. And I'm just like crying and crying. And then also I'm crying. But she got choked up a couple times and she does not cry at books. So it made me feel a little better. I'm sorry that you're sick,
Oh
Kelly.
no. That's been going around.
So much junk going around. It's crazy. Hope you feel better soon. Yeah. They're not kind. And I don't mean the kids. I mean like the time period to the kids is not kind. Although sometimes the kids aren't either, but I kind of don't blame them.
Yeah.
I do need to get more lights. You're right.
Kate said so it's the rule now. More lights.
Kate is influencing me in so many ways, and I'm cool with it. You're right, Tony. It's good to keep that in our minds, you know. I love Tony's serious. I love it.
Sorry. No, I'm crying from yawning so hard. Gosh.
It's gonna be okay, Stephanie.
I know.
I'm here for you. I love you. It's okay. Oh, happy birthday. I didn't know it was your birthday this month. Happy birthday. I hope you have sun on your birthday.
Yes.
In another way, Kate is influencing. A fire. It'll just glow more, right? It's totally fine. No, you still need a little tree to cheer you up on these gloomy England days. Okay. That's what I thought there are a lot of people. When is Canadian Thanksgiving? I know it's early. Is it in October?
October.
Or early November. Okay. I couldn't remember. So yeah, so up a lot earlier, even than a lot of people I know. Although I know some people who set it up like November 1st, the tree goes up, which maybe I would take mine down in December if I put it up that early. November 15th. Okay. Man, I'm way behind on comments, I guess, guys. We talked about this a little while ago. I love all the lights.
Yes.
Can't you be thankful for Jesus? I'm sorry, Krista. That's a lot of question marks. Okay, I feel attacked. Wow. Apparently, I need to repent. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Especially at certain times. You know what I mean? I was one time. What were we watching? The season finale of Lego Masters. And my husband looks over at me and he's like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "Be quiet. I can't help it."
I'm caught up in the moment.
I'm like, they're so happy. They deserve it. I'm not always like that, but I sometimes am.
I get it. I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
If we ever got together in person and watched something, we would need so much Kleenex.
We would be a mess, wouldn't we? We would be a mess.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, The Great Alone. That one made me cry too. But The Nightingale is worse. I actually have not been able to read another Kristen Hanna yet. And it was almost 2 years ago. And I'm like, I'm just not ready to cry that much again. I'm just not ready. I'm about ready now. I have Winter Garden by her, and I really want to read that because it's like set in Russia.
Oh.
So
is she the one that wrote Firefly Lane?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that one was my last Kristen Hanna. I can't even watch the show.
Okay, I was thinking that was less sad. Apparently not.
It was still sad. I was sobbing. It was like bittersweet. It wasn't horrible, but
still, I thought that was much. I don't know, not that sad. I thought that was more.
But I think that was my only Kristen Hanna. So,
well, if that was a bit much for you,
the pain could get worse.
Here's Charlene's disclaimer. And Charlene is correct.
The same thing can be said for Robin Hobb.
Yes. Although I've only read one, but I know that it's nothing compared to what is coming.
I know. Like in one of my friends' Discords for Robin Hobb, the channel name is Hobb in Your Tears.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, accurate.
Here's a record of all the tears I've cried. Here's all the smudged pages. All of her books are now waterproof because otherwise you can only read them once. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Just that title. Tony, you read the coolest books that I've never heard of. Sounds awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm. No, you're not being unnecessarily serious. You're just reading a serious book. And we're reading about this like annoying little 13-year-old girl who just calls her mom moms.
And wants to buy a horse. And she doesn't even know how to ride them. Which my thought was, why couldn't you just take riding lessons? But maybe that wasn't a thing back in the day.
Also, maybe they couldn't afford it. You know, her family's not rich.
But wouldn't it be cheaper to take riding lessons than to buy a horse and feed it and shelter it?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah.
But that was also, you know, back when you could afford stuff on one salary. So what do I know?
True. And they do live in the country, it sounds like.
They do.
So they would have like pasture and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think
I'm just being overly critical over a middle grade book, but it's fine.
Probably. I think I would have liked this a lot as a middle grader because I totally went through the horse girl phase.
Me too.
And so I'm really surprised because my daughter is currently still in her horse girl phase. I love that she has had one too. I think most girls I've talked to have had a horse girl phase. And yet she doesn't love Trixie Belden. And I'm like, there's a lot of horse content in here though so far. So maybe there isn't in subsequent books because we have like 5 or 6 of them. So
yeah. Oh.
But I have also cried at that movie. I mean, not as bad. Actually, the Pixar movie that has made me cry the most is probably Inside Out because my family packed up and moved cross country when I was a kid multiple times.
Aww.
And so I watched it in theaters with my sisters, and my younger sister and I just like bawled together. We're like, this is our childhood. Like starting over, and it's hard. It ends up being good, but it's hard. Although Up is really that one will get you too. That's the one that's known for that. But Pixar conveys emotions so well. January 6th. Actually, isn't that like 12 Days of Christmas? What's the name of the day?
Yeah,
because I remember what it's called. It's supposed to be the day the wise men came, but I can't remember.
Yeah, my coworker's from Mexico, and she does the same thing. She keeps it up till January 6th. Yeah. And I cannot think of the title. But yeah.
I can't. It's driving me nuts on the tip of my brain. Winter. Yep. Okay. I'm glad that it's your favorite. I have good reading ahead.
For real. We watched Outlander together for a while on her Discord, and like every episode, it was like, oh my God. We didn't even get to the super hard stuff. Well, except for one, but it's just so good.
There's nothing wrong with being silly. I'm silly with complete sobriety, so I live my life. No. If you read it, you would know the mom's just like, it's cracking me up.
She's got a lot of other stuff to do.
This poor mom, she's got her hands full. Oh, I was gonna say, did you like it? Obviously, you liked it. I've heard it's cute.
Aww.
Hi, Adrian. I was wondering if you'd be here. How's school? Are you surviving first semester? Yeah. Charlotte's Web. Yes. Charlotte's Web was like the first book that I remember reading out loud to Claire and just like losing it. And she was 4 and she looked at me like I was insane. And now she's used to it. She didn't cry at all. She was just like, okay. Like you. Sometimes I think she's just like me. And then that's that kind of stuff. And I'm like, No, that's your dad. I think, yeah. Soft cider would just be regular cider here, and then we do have hard cider. She probably already answered that.
Yeah.
Filtered apple juice. It's a little better. There's some spices in there.
I was so
Bing
excited.
I'm sorry. I forgot about
learned-
Bing Bong.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I forgot that was even part of the story, even though that made me cry too. Just her moving and adjusting made me cry, and I forgot. I blacked out the part that traumatized me the most. It's fine. Continue, Stephanie.
I was just gonna say our local cidery, which I did learn that was a word, even though
I
it
didn't
doesn't
know
sound
that.
like one. Just started selling their stuff in stores. So excited.
Cool. Hey, it's the day of the Epiphany.
Yes.
I should have, or Three Kings Day. I feel like I should remember that because Epiphany is the only word that rhymes with my name. My dad used to be like, Tiffany had an epiphany all the time.
Aw.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Stephanie.
better than Step on Me, like Full House.
Yeah. Yeah. Although people call me Stephanie all the time too. And I was like, whatever, close enough.
Me a lot too. Yes, I know. I'm so behind on Outlander. It's emotionally draining for me.
I have to take breaks from that kind of stuff sometimes. If I read so many things back to back, I'm just like, sorry, I need some levity in my life right now, especially in the winter time.
Yes.
Although I did just read Wise Blood, so what am I talking about? I love how this is devolving into a cider conversation in the comments. It's wonderful. Yeah, me too. And I hate spiders.
It's the one good spider.
What did you say? Charlotte's book. I didn't even notice. I was just like, yes.
I didn't even catch that.
Ah.
And I'm drinking soda. I'm not even drinking cider.
I'm drinking water. And then... Oh. I haven't heard that. That's so fascinating.
Wow.
That may just, I don't know if that's just a Greek thing because I've never heard anyone in the United States doing that.
That's cool.
I love different traditions in different areas. Oh, sorry then. I'm so sorry to bring up school when you were still have a break. My husband's starting school back up on Tuesday, I think. Oh,
I love that.
that's so cute. More cider. That's okay. Well, we should probably do more sprinting, and I think I am caught up on comments. Most of them were about cider or Christmas lights, or it's just great. I love it. We have such great conversations.
Yes. I just love the randomness of it. It's fabulous.
It is. I agree with this, Tony, when it comes to books and movies. When I was a kid, I didn't cry nearly as much at books and movies. I cried at real life things that didn't even matter. But the older I get, the more I cry at all that kind of stuff. Cake and Ernie. That's even so better than Bert and Ernie because Cake is awesome. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I wonder if, because I know that there's like Eastern Orthodox and probably some sort of Greek Orthodox churches in the US, and I wonder if they do that kind of stuff in the US because I just never heard anyone talk about that. That's so interesting. All right. We're going to sprint.
Yes. We'll finish the last 10 pages of Trixie Belden and then move on to Nancy Drew.
I have a lot more than 10 pages. All right. Let's see. Oh, wait. I should probably put on a banner. I'm not organized. It's fine. Till 40? 40 is good, right?
That works for me.
All right, cool. Oh, I didn't know that I could do that. Make it scroll. Okay. I'm fine. Everything's good and fine. Nothing is wrong. I'm feeling great. Okay. Yes, my brain works in like reels / TikToks all the time. Okay. On that note, we shall sprint. See you soon. Hello. How'd you do?
I gave my cats catnip, and I listened to 14 pages of Nancy Drew.
Both good things.
Yes, it was pretty entertaining.
We had one cat at one point, like we have brother and sister, and like one of them would just like basically pass out in it, and then the other one would just go insane. Like
That's
totally
Lucy.
different reactions. It's funny.
Yeah. I sent a video on Instagram because it won't do it in Voxer. It was too long, but Lucy's like rolling around in it, and Oliver's just like on her back, like just so blissed out.
Love that. Penny left while we were on our
Aww.
sprints. And Peter's putting Greek on the chat. I'm wondering, Louisa can probably read that. Peter studies Greek for fun. So, The Voice of War. Oh,
That one is good.
I have not read that one. Immersion reads are fun, though. Catnip. Kate wants catnip, too. 28 pages in. Are you reading something else, or are you still reading Bird Box? So 28 pages in, that's why I'm wondering.
Or is it did she say there was a sequel?
Oh, yeah, she did. Maybe that's what she said. 28 or 20 pages.
Nice.
30 pages. I read 44 pages, but it was Trixie Belden, so lots of full page illustrations, so it doesn't really totally count, but we're saying it counts. It sounds impressive to be like, I just read 44 pages. I've read 94 pages so far tonight.
Yes. Like this is, I think, 180 pages, and the audiobook's like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I was going to ask. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask you how you're liking Sword of Kaien.
I love it. I'm only like 3 chapters in.
Okay.
But I'm really like, it's my kind of like, it's like political and like there's like hidden things going on with the government, and I'm just like, I'm very intrigued. And I wanted to keep reading after chapter 3 because chapter 3 kind of ends on a cliffhanger. But I was like dead. I was so tired, and I'm like, I can't keep reading. And then I haven't had time.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's so good.
I am. Oh, are you going to bed, Kate?
Oh, it is past your bedtime. It's almost 10 o'clock where she's at.
Yep, for me too.
Goodness.
You read 0, but you did get your practice in.
So you're so productive.
Yeah, I'll probably do one more sprint if Stephanie's up for one more sprint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay. So not in like 28 pages further than you were before. Okay. The in made me wonder, like, if you started something new.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Goodness.
Bad to worse. Well, we'll see what happens. So, Krista, what are you going to plan to read? What are you reading this weekend? I know you haven't been reading so far.
Aww.
Oh, it's probably direct. I hope it's directed towards me. I hope. Oh.
Yeah. What's funny is I sent my Trixie Belden message, and right when I started talking, I looked up and I saw his message, and I just started cracking up. And it's just like...
Yeah, he was not on there for a little while, and then he sent me a picture. Well, I don't know if it'll show up. It probably won't show up. He sent me a picture. He's obviously laying down on the other couch. Our dog's on him, and then he just keeps progressively sending me closer and closer pictures of him. So I showed you Gus at the beginning. That's Dexter. That's the puppy.
Aww.
He's like a year old.
I love him. He's so precious.
He is just the loveliest baby. He showed up. Well, I think I told you, actually. But he just like showed up at our door because he was abandoned. And he chose us, and I love him so much.
We do not deserve dogs.
I know. He's wonderful. If you knew him, that's even
Troll
funnier.
kisses.
Because he's like so introverted. Like he's funny, but he's a hardcore introvert.
Ooh.
I love all the Greek. I don't know Greek stuff, but I just think it's fun. I think other languages are fun, and the only one I've really delved into semi recently is Korean, a tiny bit. Hashtag influenced by Christy.
Yeah. I've been trying to learn more Spanish because we deal at work. We have a lot of Spanish speaking customers, but I'm never gonna, or if I'm fluent, it's gonna be forever. But I can practice with a coworker, so that's fun.
Yeah, and that's actually really useful. I really like enjoyed Spanish when I took it and in high school, and I worked at a restaurant where a lot of the dishwashers were Spanish, Mexican, and they spoke Spanish all the time. And so I retained some of it for a while, but as soon as I stopped working there, I didn't hear it anymore, and so I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah, you lose it because I used to be fluent in sign language and I had nobody to practice with, so now I've just lost almost all of it.
It's too bad.
But those were fun class. That's what I took in college, and it was so much fun.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm having deja vu. Did you already tell us that, Krista, or was someone else reading the sequel to Frostheart?
She did, but we didn't know the title. And I just completely blanked that she said that until you.
Yeah, because every sprint she's like, I'm working on this. I'm working on things. So I hear that meow.
Yeah. She's like, I ran out of catnip.
Excuse
and you're
me,
covered
Mom.
in it. She's
Just
got it like,
plenty
all over.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that, Tony. Well, enjoyed. That was meaningful.
Yes.
Curious.
Yay. She does get more likable.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, not that I didn't like her, but I think you get used to her personality.
She's very like precocious and just says what she's thinking. But I feel like she's already like she knows that she says what she's thinking and she needs to work on that. And I've reached a point where she hurts someone's feelings and she's like, oh, and she like genuinely feels bad. And so I feel like
a little bit of growth there.
Yeah. So
I do like that because I feel like Nancy, as much as I love her, her flaws aren't really that big of a deal.
She doesn't really have any, honestly.
Yeah.
She's kind of perfect, and that's kind of part of the point. I feel like maybe that is part of the reason, too, they made her older, like to be a role model. And if she's like really good, goody two-shoes, then it's like a good person for kids to look up to, except for the fact that she definitely does dangerous things, but that doesn't count. Good night, Kate. We love you too.
Yes,
thanks for all the laughs. As always.
It's always fun when Kate joins.
Philo.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Oh, Peter said he was trying to say I love Greek. And I wasn't sure which of the 4 words for love would be the best to use. I should probably also specify, Louisa, that Peter studies like Koine Greek, like what the New Testament was written in.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
he is a pastor, so it's actually like very helpful to him. So that may also be semi-different from modern Greek because it's not spoken anymore. You did already tell us. Okay, I'm sorry, Krista. Oh, you know some ASL too. Cool. I know a little. Like I still remember the alphabet, and I remember doing songs when I was a kid and stuff. So there's a lot of signs I still remember.
The songs were so much fun. They used to have at my college see a song, and it'd be a whole show of people signing the music. It was very cool.
Have you seen? There's like this news clip that someone sent me about this lady who showed up at a police station for like a briefing they were doing about some crime, and said that she would translate into ASL on camera for this news brief, and she's over there doing like whatever and just making up whatever. And apparently she had a history of doing this at different news briefings. And they're like, and we asked the police chief what happened. And it cut to him and he's like, I guess we just didn't ask enough questions. She's like literally like, she's like, yeah.
That's so horrible, but that's so funny.
We just didn't ask enough questions. Did you ask any?
You had one job.
Did you ask any? Well, maybe it wasn't his job, but it was someone's job. Someone just shows up and you're like, yeah, cool. Yeah. We weren't going to have someone doing that, but you're here. So let's.
Like, wow, people are so nice. Absolutely.
Yes. That's, if I'm awake at that time of night, that's about, you know, the kind of thing that I'm doing. It's always like some sort of serious, like, almost like an existential crisis at 3 a.m.
Kind of
if
like
I'm awake
shower
then.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you know, you were still productive. It's okay, Lisa. Good night again. Scroll down. She says it again. That'd be funny. So I was like, I already said good night to her. But yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
So where did you teach babies? Yeah. More.
And the nice thing is, at least if you don't know the word, you can spell it.
Yes. And I do still remember how to spell. So
yeah. Although I remember
I mean spell
my
it.
mom, I learned it because my aunt, she's passed on, and she grew up in a time where you had to be oral. They didn't really teach sign language, so nobody in my family knew sign language. My mom was kind of learning, and there's a difference between thank you and something else you. It's very like close. And so
it's
she
close?
Yeah, like thank you and then something else. And she was at her job and she said thank you. And then she goes, oh God, did I do it right? And I was like, yeah, you're fine. And she goes, are you sure? And then somebody else behind her goes, and then you can say you're welcome and like do another horrible sign. And it's like, don't encourage her.
Oh man. I didn't know that those were close together. I am going to have to be careful, apparently.
Touch your chin.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But it was
Then I'm good. I don't need to overthink it. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. But it was cute.
She's
trying.
So I would be like worried every single time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Oh. Look at you, girl. That's so awesome.
German would be a fun language too.
It would. Like I said, I did Spanish in high school. I did do like more like elementary and middle school. I did do some ASL, but not like really classes, just like spending time around people who knew ASL. And now I'm doing some Korean, but not like hardcore. Just like a little. I just want to know I just want to be able to sing along to K-pop songs. I love Greece. Okay.
I love that the chat
Greek
and multilingual.
It's like there's like a theme. You know, it was Christmas lights, it was cider, it was crying, now it's Greek and other languages. This is amazing.
It's just anything can happen reading sprints. It's great.
I love it. You guys are the best, for real. You saw that? I don't know who sent it to me. Someone sent it to me, a friend of mine.
I'll have to try to look it up. That's amazing.
I will find it and I will send it to you because I saved it under my like funniest memes and reels because I have sections on my Instagram saved folders. I saved it under funniest because Peter's like, that's the best thing ever. And whenever he says that, I save it. When he's having a bad day, I'm like, Let's look at these. The ones that are your favorite. Another one of our favorites is, have you seen the one of the they said that they found this mummy and they were able to, like, with a 3D printer, try to recreate his vocal cords, and they were only able to make one sound. You have not seen that one? I'll send you that one. I'm not going to spoil it. It's wonderful. It's real, and that's what makes it really funny.
Oh no.
They had a funeral. I got sad. I love that. It's amazing. Working at a restaurant with like dishwashers that spoke only Spanish. That's where I learned all the bad words. They didn't teach that in my, curriculum that I was doing.
It's really funny though, because like my coworker speaks Spanish, and she'll randomly say something in Spanish, and then she'll be like, "Oh, what I meant was," and it's like, "No, I remember now. You told me before." So I pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or like chisme is my favorite. It's gossip, and so she'll come in my office and be like, "I have some chisme," and it's like, yes.
I love that. Love that. Okay. So there were some things that, okay. Because it wasn't truly like, it looked like she was trying. I didn't recognize any words. I mean, I'm not super familiar, but I could tell that, like, there were things that, like, she was like trying to spell things super fast. And I'm like, if you were going to do that, you wouldn't be spelling that many things.
Yeah.
Some of the names, yeah, but you would not be.
Yes.
It's funny.
What?
Oh, casa in Greek is the casket.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
That's
Okay.
interesting. The last home. Well, technically, yeah. That's interesting.
Okay, that's funny.
And then you're sad. Aww. Aww. That's really sweet, though.
That's amazing.
You're like, oh, these poor people. I hope they're okay. We're really laughing a lot for grieving people. Oh, they probably were just like, I want to go home. I'm tired of working. I'm ready to go home. Oh, that's funny. I'm actually caught up on comments. Who am I?
Excuse me.
She's trying to get up. She also straight up said sleep when it made sense.
Oh my gosh.
I will send it to you on our next sprint. Oh, I love you.
She's been like tapping me while you're talking.
Excuse me, Mom.
Like, hey.
I have a cat that's like that. She's a calico, and she will jump from a chair and just jump on me.
Mm-hmm.
She used to do it when she was a kitten all the time. She hadn't done it in a long time, and I had people over, and I was standing near the kitchen table. And she got on the table, and I wasn't even like paying attention, and she literally just flung herself across the room at me and like dug in her claws so I wouldn't drop her. Like, Mom, you weren't paying attention to me. She's like obsessed with me, and she's not that way with like any other person in her family. She's actually pretty shy usually, but
that's how Oliver is with me, because she's a muted calico. And
we have one of those. I love
yell all day long, and then when we go to my mom's house, she's like the most serene, calm, quiet cat. And like, here she has to be like right up by my face.
She's like, well, I have to. Grandma can't know.
Mm-hmm.
I want gifts. I have to be a good girl.
Yes. But Lucy's irritating because she uses one claw to tap. And it's so irritating.
I love the personality. My dog was with me at the beginning, Adrian. I should bet you weren't here. So
he is so cute. His facial expression.
Oh, he's adorable. So yeah. We have 3 cats and 2 dogs.
It's a full house.
It is. We had a hamster until a couple weeks ago. That was a sad day.
Yeah.
But yeah, his name was Paganini, the hamster, after the famous violinist. Because that's my daughter's favorite composer, so she named her hamster after him, which is like the cutest thing.
My friend used to have a hamster named Pork Chop,
Oh my!
and it just cracked me up.
I
I
knew
think
someone who had a
the dog on Doug. I think that's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I had someone I knew that they had a potbelly pig and they named her Pork Chop.
Speaking of the news, going back to that, have you seen the pig that made the news? And his name is Chris P. Bacon.
No.
And the news anchor didn't catch it at first, and he was cracking up so hard he couldn't even tell the rest of the news story. I'll have to send it to you. It's like that poor pig.
Oh, I can't decide if that's better or worse than Pork Chop because it's more
Pork chop
clever.
is cute, though.
But it also is a part of the pig that you eat.
It is, but pork chop just sounds adorable. Crispy bacon.
I saw a video the other day that was like the names you see when you work at a pet insurance company. And it just had all these names. I'll send you that one too. I just got many to send you.
Yes.
Yeah. If you watch it back at the beginning, he's there like right at the beginning. Oh, he's seen it.
You.
He's seen all the memes.
Little
Good
girl.
night, Tony. Thanks for hanging out in the wee hours of the morning with us. It was nice to have you.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, Lamb Chop.
I loved Lamb Chop. That was one of my favorite shows as a kid.
Yes.
Lamb Chop and Reading Rainbow and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So I'm listening to, because Kate influenced me. She's gone now. But I am listening to The Good Neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
About Mr. Rogers. And it's narrated by LeVar Burton. I was like, I just need Lamb Chop. And it's all here.
Did you also watch The Big Comfy Couch?
No, my little sister did. But I didn't really like it. I was just kind of like, why is all this stuff in your couch?
My mom liked it because it got me to clean, because I was like, oh, I'm going to clean with her. And she's like, yes, do that.
What a great show.
Yeah.
It never made my little sister do that.
I was a joiner.
But she would lay on the floor and do the clock thing.
Yes.
So I did watch it, but I didn't like it as much as she did. I think maybe I was just like a couple years too old for it.
Yeah.
That I was just like, dude, just clean your couch. Good night, Joanna. Enjoy your cake.
I'm looking.
Can't wait to hear your Trixie thoughts. I'm like dying to listen to Stephanie's, but I'm not caught up yet. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know that that's where that song came from, was Lamb Chop.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It did. Yep.
You learn something new every day.
You're not alone, Stephanie.
Yes.
Lisa liked it too. And now we're all about kids shows. It was memes.
Well, we did start out the show with Nancy Drew, which is nostalgia. So we have come full circle.
We have. Are we ready to do our final sprint?
Yes.
Speaking of full circle, let's see. Maybe 35? Is that good? Is that too long for you?
No, that works for me.
Okay. It's getting later. That's why I was checking.
It's only 9 o'clock here for me. So
that's true.
I'm still good.
All right. 35, our last sprint. Will I make it through the rest of Trixie Building? No, I will not. I'm only 94 pages in, but
you make a good dent.
I could for sure make it halfway. This is
yeah.
Everything's backwards. There we go. Like turning it, I'm like, why is this not working? It's fine. Everything's fine. All right. See you in a little bit. Happy reading. Enjoy your reading, Krista. Hello. How'd you do?
I got about 60 pages.
What do you think?
Still enjoying it. Still not my favorite, but happy to be back with Nancy. And the Topham sisters are the worst.
Oh my gosh. They're not in the other books, are they?
No.
I didn't think so. They're annoying. Oh, you finished your book. Awesome. I think I got to, what page am I on? 160. So I'm more than halfway now.
Nice. Yeah, it won't take long at all to finish it.
No. And there are things I'm enjoying about it more as I go, I think. But there are still parts that I'm just like, what? I think I keep sending random quotes to the box or like,
Yeah, but it's cracking me.
what? Let's see. What was the last one I sent? I'll have to
The
read
one
it on
that
here.
cracked me up that you sent was about the rabid dogs, and it's like I've literally never heard that. Where
Yeah, it says, I hear if a dog is mad, it always runs across country in a straight line, so we don't have to worry about it's coming back. What? Since when? Oh, you're getting close, and it's probably like super suspenseful now. You'll stay up and finish it. Halfway mark. Chantel's such a fast reader. 55 pages. Good night. Thank you for joining us. You're so productive tonight. Nice. Is that as long as the Three Musketeers? The Three Musketeers is pretty long. Like, not Count of Monte Cristo long, but pretty long.
I bet it is.
That's what I'm guessing too.
And then didn't he, what was the other one he wrote? The Man in the Iron Mask.
Mm-hmm.
I read that one too because I saw the movie.
I have that one, but I haven't read it. I found this beautiful like antique edition of The Black Tulip by him, and I've never really heard anyone talk about it, but like it's falling apart and there's no date inside it, so I have no idea how old it is.
Wow.
But it is beautiful. Oops, I skipped Kelly's comment. Christmas movie. Aww.
Those are the coziest though.
Yeah. Makes me feel better about my Christmas tree being up when you're watching Christmas movies. I'm off the hook.
Yes.
40-ish pages. Did you even say what you were reading? I don't remember if you did. Maybe you did, like Kristen. I don't remember. Oh.
Okay.
I didn't know there was multiple sequels either.
I didn't
He's
either.
written a lot more than I'm aware of. I'm finding that out recently. Because when you think of him, you're like, Count of Monte Cristo and the Three Musketeers, and maybe a couple other things, but a lot more.
I didn't realize there were multiple sequels.
I didn't either.
Jeez.
Cool. How's it stacking up to the original? Sometimes sequels aren't as good. Although I find like in classics, a lot of times they're better. But
I haven't read that many. Like, what am I reading? Anthony Trollope's Barchester series.
Yeah.
I've read The Warden. I need to read the second one. But I think that's the only Victorian series I've started.
Yeah, I started The Warden. I read The Warden in Victober.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm forgetting like an obvious one, but
yeah.
5 books. And The Man in the Iron Mask is the last book. Okay. Aw. We had fun having you here, Louisa. I'm so glad you were here. Yeah, I have not had much time to read today, and so it's been nice to slow down and read and hang out. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Sometimes it takes a while to get into.
And it's nice that it's not struggling from middle book syndrome, because I know sometimes that happens to you.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome for the Greek things. Even though that was my husband. Oh. Are you is it Wise Blood or is it something else? Curious.
I know so many people say that book is funny, and I think it hit too close to home.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Although Una was telling me, and this is not Una's first read through of it, Una was telling me that he's listening to the audiobook and it's killing him because the accents. And
Yeah.
he was like on Boxer and he's like, and her thin hair was dripping down the side of her face like ham gravy. And I was like, yeah, I bet there's a lot of humor I'm missing in by it not being an
Yeah.
audiobook that you might be able to hear some things. But yeah, like I read it and I'm like, I'd heard some people, like I heard Leslie say she like laughed the whole time. And I'm like, did we read the same book?
Because I
I
liked
was
it.
like horrified. Like I enjoyed it too, but I was like my skin was crawling so many times.
Yeah.
And I would not. I talked to a few people that were trying to read it or did read it for Flannery O January, and they were like, "This is their first Flannery," and I was like, "I would not have recommended for you to start here," because I started with her short stories,
I did too.
and I think that that is the perfect place to start because if you hate her short stories, you will not like her novels because they're more intense, they're more violent, they're more crazy. But I was like, yeah, like Wise Blood just feels so visceral.
Yeah.
Good night, Chantel.
I keep forgetting tomorrow is Sunday.
Yeah, it's been a weird week for me. I'm like, what day is it?
Well,
Yes,
we
we are.
finally,
Sorry, go ahead.
we finally got to work. I'm starting 2 days at home every week working from home, and now my days are all mixed up because if I'm not in the office, it doesn't feel like a real work day.
Yeah,
So,
messes with you.
and it's a long weekend. So next week I'm going to be like, what day is it?
It's a long weekend. Oh, yes, it is.
MLK Day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I forget about Monday holidays sometimes because I stay home. So,
Yeah.
and my husband takes Mondays off anyway. Like
Oh,
that's
okay.
always been his day off because it's like our unwind day after the weekend.
Yeah.
Because pastors don't get Sundays off, so
Right.
it's kind of a very busy day. So yeah, I forget about that all the time. Yes, and yes, Adrian, we are reading
Ooh,
Barchester Towers. So
nice. I've heard that one's better than The Warden.
I've
I'm
heard that
excited.
too. I've heard some people say that Barchester Towers is their favorite. I've heard some people say that Dr. Thorne is their favorite. And then I've heard some other people say that I can't remember what the name of it is, but I think I've heard some people say that book 4 is their favorite too.
Yeah.
So no one that I've heard has said The Warden has been their favorite, which I enjoyed The Warden. So that means that I have some really great Trollope ahead of me.
Yes.
That will probably be better than just a book,
Yes.
unlike some Trollope. My favorite book
And
review of all time, it was a book.
I recently read a Thomas Hardy book that was like that. And I
Oh
mentioned the
no.
Anthony Trollope book. It was Under the Greenwood Tree. It wasn't bad. It was just very underwhelming.
I have that one, and I was thinking about picking it up this year for my Hardy because I've been reading like a
No,
Hardy
yeah.
every year, and
I think
it's a beautiful antique edition. It's so pretty.
I think
But,
it's just because I went in knowing it was one of his happier ones, so I had higher expectations of it. So it wasn't bad, and I did listen to it in pretty much one sitting, but I was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Thomas Hardy, happy with Thomas Hardy might not be happy with someone else.
Yeah, I think he's better at tragedy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Wise Blood was a wild ride. It was crazy. It's like a train wreck you can't look away from. But it was so good. It was so thought provoking.
Hmm.
And I can't wait for the live at the end of the month because I have no idea how many times Noah has read Wise Blood. Probably like a million. He loves Flannery. And I know Christy's read it like twice and Una's read it at least twice. And so this is my first pass through. So what I got from it is probably very different from people who've read it multiple times. So I'm super excited. It was Victoria's first time too. So she and I will be on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've read The Warden twice, right, Adrian?
Oh, wow.
And I think he said like he had similar thoughts to me the first time he read it, and then the second time it just felt cozier and he loved it even more. So
Nice.
good night, Jennifer. It's probably about time for us to hop off too. It's been lovely chatting with you all. We always have such a good time. We always laugh and have really, really random side tangents. And it's great. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for hopping into our Nancy Drew nostalgia. That was fun. Have a good night, guys.